A funny thing happened to me on my way to invading Earth. I am your worst nightmare. Believe that.
Welcome to the Craze in 10 or Less. This is the show where I give it to you in 10 minutes or under. And if I don't, you know it's rare that I do. Anyway, this is a New Year's show. This is a reflection on the Craze in 10 or Less. And we're going to talk about it. That's the topic of the day. I'm Sam the Crazy Man Vera. Stop acting up. Let's get it. First of all, I want to say Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all of you and everybody who supports the Craze in 10 or Less. Catch the Craze, What's in the Box. Thank you all so much. We appreciate you so much. Thank you for getting us to 502 subscribers. And if you haven't signed up already, please do and sign up for the launch of the Nailing on My Toilet. It's hilarious, it's fun, and I have a lot in store for you guys. So, with that said, I wanted to take the time to just reflect on the fact that there are 70 episodes of the Craze in 10 or Less. Started this a little over a year ago, this episode, as a means to bring in more traffic to the channel and provide quick topics to discuss and hopefully bring in a larger conversation into Catch the Craze and hopefully get you guys to engage in these topics and these conversations. You know, and I didn't realize that it would become very popular with a lot of you listeners out there. And I appreciate every single one of you for participating, listening, engaging, and commenting because that's why we do it. And some of you have given me plenty of topics. I just want to shout out Mark Torres, who's been the big contributor to giving ideas for the Crazy in 10 or Less and show topics that I was more than happy and willing to go in and deep dive into and provide some insight so that aspiring and upcoming independent creators out there can use that as a reference or probably like warning signs or best practices for your come up, right? And take bits and pieces of what you think you can apply to your craft and your journey. So that in itself, it's so rewarding to know that. And then when I look at, some of the topics, I'm going to put it up on the screen really quick right here. Why are you creating comics? That was the first episode of the Crazy in 10 or Less. And if you could look at that thumbnail, that YouTube thumbnail, very different from what it is today. And when I created the 10 or Less, I wanted to brand it. And I wanted to brand it, the typical Sam style with, the headset, the microphone, and the crazy man himself, right? So that was one of the earlier. That was actually the first show. Why are you creating comics? And then if you look, then what's in your collection, right? That was the second episode, and you look back, going out of business. Everything must go, right? We got I Have a Problem. That episode was fun. That episode was about the fact that I had so many incomplete sketchbooks, right? I had dozens and dozens of sketchbooks that were not fully completed. And I just kept buying brand new sketchbooks, but I never actually used up all the pages in the existing sketchbook books. And that was a fun episode to do. Virtual cons. I did an episode on virtual cons. And that's when the lockdown had begun and everyone was trying to do virtual cons, and I wasn't buying into it because I didn't see the benefit for the unknown, the unsung hero, the independent creators out there. And I still don't see it because I don't see where the rewards come in. There's nothing like a real convention. That's just my opinion. Don't hate me for it. Tips, surviving Artist Alley. Right, so that was some of the tips on how do you survive. That was the earlier, before I went into the deep dive 3-episode series on how to make money in artist alleys. Earlier on, I did tips surviving artist alleys, and you can see I had different backdrops and everything. Press kit, media kits. I did a whole episode on that. Let's see, what does this mean for content creators? Right, correction, 30 million a year. Right, so again, great episodes. good topics. So Wizard Magazine and its impact on the comic book industry, right? I love that episode. I still have every issue of Wizard Magazine. Diamond and DC, when they split, I covered that, and Break It News, Diamond Response Letter. I did a part 2 to that. Then character, building, what comes first, the story of the character. That was a great episode. Can you earn a living doing sketch cards? So all you sketch card artists, you want to know anything about that stuff, go check out that episode. It's really cool. Let's see. How should you spend your money? Custom toys or finish your comic book? That was a great debate, again, all these were original episodes. Stay out of the red. How do you stay out of the red? How do you make money in comic books, right? So we break it down. I pulled out the chalkboard. We went down. We itemized. That was a detailed episode. I had fun doing that one. The cost of doing business as an independent comic book publisher. If you haven't seen that episode, go back and watch it now. There's so many good gems in there. Man, that's exciting. I forgot about all these things, right? 70 episodes in. Is this the right time to self-publish comics, right? So, those people who are glutton for punishment will say, yes, it is, Sam. Yes, it is, right? So, let's see, script or plots, right? What do? You write the plot first. You create the script first. Are you doing it the Marvel way or the DC way? How do you write, right? Those will have great episodes. How important is branding for your business? We went deep into this stuff, right? So again, this is great information for all you aspiring independents out there that are looking to build your brand, that are want to become brokepreneurs like me and go out there and grind. Here's some good stuff, so to help you along the way. Comic-Con presentation, how to leave a lasting impression. And that was episode 20, right? Do you have an elevator pitch? Talked about that, right? Remembering Exo Squad. Then, we went to the nostalgic era, and I pulled out my Exo Squad collection. And some of you who don't know Exo Squad, after you watch this and all those previous episodes, go to YouTube and type in Exo Squad. You're going to love it. Let's see. Who are you, right? Episode 23. Right, another good how to make it as a freelance artist, right? So now we're talking differently. How do you build your business as a freelancer, right? You got what is my next move? Do I still do this? Do I still want to do this? Yes, that was me contemplating on my next move. Is talent enough, or do you need something more? Can you bank on just talent, or do you need something more? You want to find out? Check out that episode, series one shot. Which one do you do? Right? New Kickstarter, episode 28. Catch the Crazies. That was the launch. How important is a colorist? Another good episode. That was a Kickstarter for the Crazies. Let's see. We got Sketch Magazine. Invincible. Sketch Magazine. I still have, I think, about 90% of all Sketch Magazine issues ever produced. Let's see. This was a thank you, lessons learned from the Kickstarter, right? So, promote 2 months in advance, finish pages, critic reviews, all that stuff. These are lessons learned. And virtual cons, are they forever? That was a follow-up to the first episode. And you can see this when I moved into the new office. Functional art station. Grassroots, right? Grassroots hustle. It's the hustle. And we go into steps about how to get your grassroots hustle on. The digital age. What does that mean? Right? We got the supplies you'll need as an artist and as Kickstarters. For Kickstarters, all the supplies you're going to need to, make sure everybody gets what they get. Make a trailer on a dime. So how do you make an animated trailer, a movie trailer, or any kind of promo trailer on a budget when you just got a couple of nickels you're rubbing together? Right? Do you need a publisher if you have a Kickstarter? Good question. Right? Instagram artists I follow. This is me paying homage to some of the fantastic artists on Instagram that I admire and that I get inspired by. Right? Do you have a hit on your hands? How do you know if what you have is popping? On and popping. Right? The purpose of comic book communities. That's a good one. That's a good one. You need to watch that one. In fact, you make sure you flag those things, man. Save them. Go back and watch them again. Warriors of Virtue. Yeah, you heard me. Warriors of Virtue. That's, again, a nostalgic episode when I went back and I revisited the action figures in the movie Warriors of Virtue. If you haven't seen it, you got to see the Fighting Rules. Remembering KB Toys and Toys R Us. Man, that was a good episode. Year of the Spawn. That's when Spawn announced that Atomic Fallen announced that he was gonna come up with the other series for Spawn. That was about a few months before the actual launch. That's when he made that first press release. And I'm a Spawn fan, if you don't know. Artist Stephen Platt. Moon Knight. Moon Knight's coming out. They're coming out with the movie, and I have all the Stephen Platt issues of Moon Knight. So I'm waiting. Comic book covers. What makes a comic book cover? A good one, right? Look at this. Marvel drops Diamond. That was another one. Bam. What the hell's going on? Game changer, right? Or is it? Comic Distro. I wonder whatever happened to those guys. Yeah, they announced they were coming out and they're going to be a new competitor distributing comics. I wonder what they did. Got to follow up on that one. What makes a good Kickstarter video? We got subscriber shout out. This was our way of just saying thank you so much. That was episode 50, bro. Road to 100 backers. Damn, that was another Kickstarter one. Let's see. All right, that was a Cast of Crazy promo. What is that? Preparing for Comic Cons, right? So all the supplies and tools you're going to need to prepare for Comic Cons. That was a good episode. What is cosplay? We did a whole thing on cosplaying. That was cool. Why are you creating comics? Good question everyone needs to ask themselves. Units versus dollars. How do you plan, right? Because some people think, my goal is units or my goal is dollars. Your goal is to stay in the black, right? Not in the red. Stay in the black. Stop with the units, dollars stuff. Airing out dirty laundry on the web. Stay away from that. It's toxic. Don't do it. Watch that episode. It's really good, right? Let's see. Why aren't all indies supporting podcasts? Really good stuff, right? We had tons of independent creators on our show. And so if I'm on your show, you want me to be on your show as a guest, I'm going to subscribe to your channel because you showed me love. And I'm going to stick with it. I'm not going to subscribe because I was on your show and then the moment it airs, I'm going to unsubscribe. That's just dirty. Don't do it. Don't do it. Let's see. Do you need multiple variant covers to make your goal? Some people say yes. Some people say no. I don't know. This is still up for debate. Go watch it. Don't make the mistake. Just make comics, right? Good one. That was episode 60. How to make back your table part 1. That was the one. Marky and the Funky Bunch hit me up with that one. How much does it cost? Part 2. That was part 2 of the part 1, right? So then it goes into that circle. Do this before con, right? Part 3. Great episode. It sparked a lot of conversation. How to make money at Comic-Con, right? Should an artist promote work for hire? The lessons I learned. Do you need a comic book editor? Do you need a press kit and bio? That was a really good episode too. And who are you? I always go back and ask that questions. And Lettering Comics. That was the episode 70. This is 71. So I just wanted to reflect with you guys for a minute. And just remind you guys, there's a lot of good content on the Craze and 10 or less. And the content is there because I know that there's an audience out there for it. And I appreciate every single one of you. We came back in 2019. And in 2 years, we added, 454 new subscribers to the channel in 2 years. That's about 225 a year. And we're hoping that this year we break 1,000. And I know we can. And I do this because I love it. And I love the engagement. I love the independent community. I'm a big fan of the indie artists out there, indie creators out there. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for getting me to 70 episodes of the Craze and 10 or less. And, 367 episodes of Catch the Craze. And I think it's 50 episodes of What's in the Box. When you think about all that content that's on our platform. And I'm looking forward to 2022. And I'm looking forward to talking about your books. I'm looking forward to interviewing you. And I'm looking forward to expanding on our community and the friends. And hopefully you become a crazy and you join us for the long haul. So I'm hoping that you're going back and you're logging in because there's a playlist for the Crazy and 10 or less. Just go to that playlist and watch the episodes over and over and make some comments. And I implore you, if you have any ideas and you want me to cover any subjects, topics that you want me to cover on the Crazy and 10 or less, all you have to do is write them in the comments. I'll got you. I'll put it up in the lineup. I'll do my research and my homework and I'll do you good. Right? So with that said, Happy New Year to every single one of you. Subscribe, hit that like button, Thank you for sticking around with the Craze. Thank you for becoming a crazy. Appreciate you. Like, share it with a friend. Recommend it to friends out there. We are the true independent creators' home. We got you. Rise to the indies. I'm Sam the Crazy Man Vera. This is the Crazy Untitled Less. Bless.